I almost didn't go. The alarm went off, and for a few seconds, I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. I was tired, cold, and honestly, I wanted to stay in bed. But good weather in Ireland is rare, and when it happens, the sky gives you something you can't afford to miss. So I got up. I packed my gear, and I drove through the darkness, wondering if I'd regret it. The air was freezing, my hands stiff on the steering wheel. But there's something deeply peaceful about being awake when the world still sleeps. A stillness you can't find later in the day. A silence that doesn't just surround you. It clears your head. I reached the base of Cuilcagh while the stars were still out. There was no one else around. Just the wind brushing across the land. I started walking, slowly, steadily, up the wooden boards they call the Stairway to Heaven. Halfway up, I questioned it again. Why do I do this? Why choose cold over comfort? But with every step, I could feel the night giving way. The sky began to shift. The darkness started to lift. And by the time I reached the top, I was alone with the horizon. I had arrived half an hour before sunrise. Just enough time to set up my equipment. Enough time to breathe. The wind was biting, but something about that silence, that isolation, made the cold feel almost welcome. There was no noise, no traffic, no voices, just the soft sound of my own breath and the occasional hum of the drone as I launched it into the air. And then it started. The show. First, the sky deepened. That rich, dark orange bled across the edge of the world. Then came the pinks, the golds, layers of color rolling over each other, soft and unstoppable. The clouds barely moved, like they were frozen in place just to hold that light. I stood there, motionless, not speaking, not thinking, just watching, just feeling. Behind me, I heard something. I turned slowly, careful not to slip near the edge of the ramp. And there they were, a dozen sheep, standing in a quiet semicircle, watching the sunrise too. They didn't move, they didn't graze, they didn't make a sound, just stood there with me, like an audience, as if they'd also climbed the mountain to witness the same miracle. It felt surreal, beautiful, a bit funny too. Here I was, a tired human, chasing meaning with a drone in the air. And there they were, grounded, ancient, and just as silent. I don't know if they were curious or if they understood something I didn't, but I liked the idea that we shared that moment. To be honest, for a second I thought maybe I had disturbed their peace. This crazy person with a buzzing propeller and too many layers before sunrise. Or maybe they were just appreciating the view like me. Either way, they stood like perfect spectators. Calm, quiet, respectful. Better behaved than most people at a viewpoint. The sunrise kept climbing, and as the light hit the mountain, every line of the path behind me lit up. The boards glowed. The frost on the grass sparkled, and the whole sky turned into a slow burning fire. For the first time in days, maybe weeks, I felt light. I felt still. There's something powerful about doing something difficult for no reason other than the feeling it gives you. No audience, no reward, just the quiet knowing that you were there when it happened, that you didn't sleep through it, that you chose to show up. On that mountain, above the clouds, I didn't find answers, but I found peace. And maybe that's all I needed. Cuilcagh gave me more than a view. It gave me presence. It reminded me that silence isn't empty. It's full of meaning if you let it be. And on that morning, surrounded by nothing but wind, light, and a few curious sheep, I felt more connected than I have in a long, long time.